Hey y'all, I'm Jim Begley with Blue Ridge Properties, and I'm glad you could join me here again today for another edition of History of Kingsport. Today I'm just above the banks of the South Fork of the Holston River in what is known as Kingsport's Boatyard Park. Now, I brought some documents with me so that I don't get lost as I'm telling you. I've got a lot to tell you about today. Now, this was called the Boatyard Park because many people don't know that thousands upon thousands of boats were actually built right here in East Tennessee. Some of the boats that were manufactured have names that I'm sure you remember. The Cunard Line's Titanic was actually built right here on the shore of the Holston. It was called Unsinkable, but it ran into an iceberg and sank not far from here. I think it was in Bull's Gap. Anyway, and you also can't forget the SS Minnow was built here, and she ran aground. I'm sure some of the boats that were built here must have made it to port somehow. Anyway, the skipper's red shirt and Captain Edward Smith's bathtub are on display in the museum across the street. If you come down here, be sure to check those out. They're very cool, and considering how many years it's been, they're in pretty good shape. Now, the interesting part to me of the history of this area is that my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Fleur Farfignugan.
Seriously, Jim?
Seriously, she left the Netherlands in 1817 with her husband Lars and a bag of tulip bulbs. She intended to start a tulip farm on the banks of the Mississippi River. So the two of them, hand in hand, set sail from Rotterdam, bound for New Orleans. They were both on the prow of the ship oh, wait a minute, that was Titanic. Well, anyway, they headed for New Orleans. They made one stop on the way across the Atlantic on a very small island known as Bermuda. While they were there, Fleur discovered Bermuda onions and the Bermuda shorts. The odd thing is, though, that her husband Lars went missing while on a shopping trip. Lars unfortunately became the first person to disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. That was the name of the store he was in. Well, anyway, heartbroken Fleur carried on to New Orleans and up the Mississippi. But the weather there started getting rough, and her tiny ship was tossed. If it wasn't for the courage of her fearless crew, the widow would have been lost.
Sounds familiar.
But anyway, her boat came aground on the shore of this river in East Tennessee. The boat building here had died down by that time, and the little motel across the street was for sale. Fleur bought the hotel and renamed it after her homeland, the Netherlands. It is now known as the Netherland Inn, and it has become a part of the history since 1818. Fleur remarried to my great-great-great-great-grandfather, Jimmy Dobbins Taylor Begley, and that's how I became the heir to this wonderful property, which I'm selling today at a low price. Call me.
No.
Call me.
Hello,
yes,
you cannot do
today.
this. We've talked about this. Mayor Pat is coming at you again. You've got to stop.
423-612-3546.
Can't sell city property.
Oh, it's hot. Hotter than 40 hells out here today. So make me an offer. It's hot. The property's hot.
I'm out.
I'm going to sell it today. You better give me a call.